I went into that mansion, attracted by that peculiar noise. I never thought I could get into a large abandoned house like that, but I could not get rid of the curiosity that came to me when I heard someone pounding on an old typewriter at that time of the morning. I had been out for about 15 minutes because my dog's stomach wasn't feeling too good, and that walk went well for him. The strange thing came when we were alone in the usual little park, and I started to hear that typewriter noise, and I got curious. We Have to Face Our Fears. That is the title of the book I had published a few months ago. In that little guide, I give a couple of tips on the importance of facing one's own fears, in order to get where you've never been because of those same fears. I decided to self-run the test that I offer in the book to help me gain self-confidence and be able to get in there. 1. Stop denying it. Yes, that noise was happening at the moment. No matter how much I tried to think it was a hallucination of mine, there are no excuses. 2. Stop running away. Get yourself into that place. You have to find out what it is that worries you. I stood in front of the main entrance. Everything was dark, dimly lit by the little moon that was there tonight, and with the light of my mobile, of course. Francisco, my dog, was very nervous, and he wanted to go from there. I told him that I should lead by example, and at least I would get a story to publish, which would go very well in terms of promoting the book. I opened the great door, which was thrown down with a terrible screech of a very old hinge. Typewriter sounds ends. In front of us, a large room was revealed with no furniture or anything but a table at the end, lit by a chandelier, and what looks like a typewriter with a piece of paper on it. 3. Stop fighting. You know this is anything but normal. The first thing your reasoning tells you is to run away from there right now. Even Francesco knows it. But your inner coach moves you towards that new horizon. It is complicated when you debate between the heart and the head, so yeah, I'm going to head over to the table. I slowly make my way there, pulling my dog, who is extremely nervous and unruly. Now I'm in front of the table. 4. Befriend your fears. I slowly walk around the table and look at the paper, where there is a lot of written text, but it is red colour. I find it difficult to read in the light of the candlestick. The last paragraph of the text says, "Finally he approaches, determined to find out what is written on the paper. The surprise came when, without noticing his presence, a strange figure appears behind him and captures him, immobilizing him completely. His dog begins to bark and jumps in defense of his master. But when he is in the air, a few pieces of wood unbolt from the floor and, as if they had a life of their own, they grab the dog, immobilizing him too. Other timbers begin to grab the boy, and then slowly they bring him and his dog closer to the ground until they disappear through him and everything returns to normal. The figure appears in the shadows, and when he sits down at the table we see his face illuminated by the dim light of the chandelier.
It is the same boy, but with a different countenance, as if now he were nothing more than the container of a new tenant. He decides to finish writing. 5. Face them as an opportunity to grow. You know the saying, if you can't beat them, join them, and they can be part of what's to come. They can't even imagine it.
DisturbingStories.com